Hey everybody, hope you're all well and welcome to another very windy episode of the RX7 build. So I'm pretty sure we're at like episode 8 now, and we've just been doing a lot of bodywork in the past and getting a lot of things sorted. So here she is now. I've just pushed her out into the sunlight. This is the first time she's been out in the sunlight for like 4 or 5 months. Currently still in stage 4 restrictions for my town. So I'm in Melbourne, Victoria, and we're in stage 4 restrictions. So it's been almost impossible to get parts. And there's nothing for sale for these cars as well. Like, you just go online, there's just really nothing. Anything that is for sale is like out of the radius. So you're only allowed to travel 5 kilometers and you can't exceed that, otherwise you can get fined up to $1,600. So we've got about, I think, 2 to 3 weeks left of this stage 4. So I've just been sort of picking at this a little bit and just trying to get, you know, a little bit by bit done with all the supplies I have here. So last episode we covered, I did a lot of repairing on this quarter panel, which came out absolutely beautiful. So this quarter panel was all dinted and it had a big dent just here, had a big dent through here. So we've actually repaired all that and it's come out beautiful, nice and smooth. So you can see on this quarter panel here, we've done all the repair work, so we have to actually prime this one as well. So I need to go get some materials as well as, like I said, it's hard to get shit. So once stage 4 is over, I can go get some primer, and then I can get the gun out and use the gun. We have the engine bay all open because I want to start getting this prepped and sanded. So in here, we haven't really done much since the last episode. I still got the dash all apart because I got to get a new brake booster, and all the interior, and that's just sitting in. I've still got to restore all this rear bucket area and all these pillar trims, so that'll be in an upcoming episode. Also, we have the engine tucked away over here for it. So this is the 13B Series 8 motor that'll be going in it. Got all the loom and everything, and the sump just sitting there. There's a sump for it there, and I've got all the bolts and everything. I just got to sort of start assembling the engine and go get some parts for it. I'm going to start sanding the rest of the car down. So obviously we don't have to worry about sanding this down. I want to sand the hatch down, I want to sand the roof down, this door, that guard, the bonnet, all the rest of the things that we haven't touched. So now that the car's outdoors and I can get around it, it's a very windy day, so hopefully that blows the dust away. That'll be good. I just want to get everything sanded. I sand the rear bar, and the front bar I'm not going to be running because that's Series 6 bar, so I'm going to be running a Series 8 bar. So once we get that, we can start doing all that. For all of you that are asking, yes, this is going to be factory black, because being an Ausdel and being black, you don't see many. Ausdel is obviously Australian delivered, for everyone interstate that don't know about that. So right hand drive Australian delivered. This is a 1992 model, so hard to come by, and these have the solid sunroofs as well. So first pass, I'm just going to hit it with some 80 with the electric sander, and then after that I might hit it with some 180 or some 100, then 180, just to sort of finish it off before we do the primer. I don't know if you can see, the bonnet has some sort of like hail damage on it, so I'm just going to give it a light sand, and I'm not going to sand out all the lows because I'm going to have to fill all those. So yeah, we'll slowly do it. You can see there's some things I've marked, just some little areas that I've marked here. So yeah, we'll slowly sand her until she's completely non-black anymore. It's kind of sad when you do that, because, you know, the car starts looking more like a project car than a car, but it's for the better. So let's continue. Starting to look less like a car now, more like a project car now. It looks like it's actually back in primer on this side. So yeah, we've just sanded it back down to the primer on this side. The bonnet's been painted in a different material, so it's sanded down a bit differently. It looks like a matte bonnet now, but you can see if we go closer to this side, you can just see like little low spots in that, which is good, so I can mark them and fill them. Some of them actually sanded out quite well because the paint was built on very thick. You can see like here's a high spot. We've gone back to the aluminium. So yeah, I reckon we just continue on this side and see how we go. guys are starting to look a bit more flat now. And by flat I meant matte. We sanded the roof on this side, sanded the bonnet, both guards and the door. Sanded this rear quarter here, so now there's no shine on it whatsoever. So yeah, just getting there. So next thing I'm going to do is this part of the roof here, and then I'm going to take the rear bumper bar off and do that. And then, oh sorry, actually next thing I'm going to do is the hatch, I forgot about that. And then take the rear bar off and do that. Sick! Alright guys, so I took the rear bar off and set it on the ground there. It was only held together by the 4 bolt holes there, and then just had the stud sitting inside there. So yeah, just whacked it off, and then all of a sudden it just started raining. So it was sunny as you could tell at the start of the video, and now it's rained, and now the car's sort of moist. But at least it'll keep the dust down. That'll be good. So I'm going to sand this this rear bar. First of all, I'm going to take the badges off. So hopefully I can get them off in one piece. This seems like it's going to come off by hand, but I want to get them off in one piece, and I want to keep them and then re-glue them on later. And then yeah, I sort of want to get this remade up too, so I took some photos of where that was because I want it to be all sort of factory. All right, let's start sanding this thing. Fantastic, that sanded down really well. And you know what was amazing, guys? All the badges came off perfect. Now this has another like bottom section that I gotta find. It did have it, but it was all melted. See how this bit sort of melted where the exhaust is? So I gotta sort of find that, but I gotta sort of get in here as well and sand that by hand, but I can do that later on. That sanded down wonderful. Alright guys, so we are back. It's been about 8 months since we filmed the last clip, and now I got my new camera, so hopefully it comes out good and the audio comes out good. So I think next thing we're going to do, in the last clip I'm pretty sure we did the bodywork and stuff. I'll see it when we edit, but I'm still going to do this side, but for now I reckon I'm just going to get that engine out and I'm going to start whacking some things on that motor. Now you can see the engine behind me, so I've got some things to put on it, and hopefully that should start to come together soon. But yeah, I'm sort of hoping to get the ball rolling on this car because it's been over a year since I've owned it now and still doesn't run. So, and I've gained nearly 8,000 subscribers since I started this car. So a lot of new viewers here, so welcome. And hope you enjoy the build series on this RX7 and my dream car ever since I was a little kid. I bought 60% of one and hopefully I can make it work. So very expensive cars to build these days. Yeah, hopefully I can build this one on a budget like I have with the rest of them. The Skyline over there peaking. So yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, here's the car in all its glory. Here's the back end of it. So you see we've primed the other side of that quarter and that door. Got to do the same on this side. I've actually finished this side, so I've got to prime it. I'll probably do etch primer as always, or so epoxy primer, which is a sealer coat. Come up this pillar here. We also have a little dent here we got to sort out, so I'm going to try to drop that headlining and get it from the inside. So we use as less fill as possible. We've got our wiper, rear wiper delete we've done, and also the wiper jet delete up the top there. So I'll move this engine out a little bit more into the light so you can see it, and we'll start working on this. Alright, so here's the engine here. I've actually just installed the oil pickup here. So what we're going to do is we got the sump over here for it. I'm going to whack the sump on it. I'm not going to put it on permanently, it's just for now, just to sort of save space, but have it all together. I'll take it off and then silicone it. And also I brought engine mounts for it. So I've got the engine mounts here, and then they bolt onto these 1, 2, 3 bolts. They sort of, it's weird how it works. The sump goes on, the engine mount sort of clamp the sump down as well. It's pretty weird, but yeah, 13Bs are all new to me. So we're going to whack that on and flip the engine over and see how it looks a bit more completed. Alright, so now I'm going to put the engine mounts on. So I've already kept them on which side's going to be which. So these 3 bolts will run into this pattern here. Sort of weird looking things, but just give them a buzz. And now we'll do the same with the other side. The other side's a bit weird. It's got like this big metal thing on it. So you can sort of see on this mount, it's got a big sort of metal, I don't even know what that is. Maybe a heat shield or something for the turret, because this is the exhaust side. So yeah, so I'll whack that on and yeah, should all fit up. Beautiful. So now I'll flip that motor over and see how it looks a bit more complete. You probably won't notice from this side because all the stuff's going to be on the other side now. Beautiful. You see those mounts are on there now, so we can actually sit the engine in the car if we wanted to. But we've still got to do all the engine bay and straighten the support out. But over here is a gearbox for it, and I'll show you what else I've gotten for it too. So over to my bench of things, we've got a flywheel for it as well. So I'm gonna order a clutch too and get this flywheel machine because I've got a second hand, and we'll whack that in. And then once that's all bolted up, we can actually bolt the gearbox on as well. And we bolt the gearbox on, we can literally just whack it in to that thing over there. Sorry, my bin's in the way. That's my tripod. I think I showed you in the last episode, but how beautiful is my cluster surround. I've got this pretty much brand spanker, but I know the white gauges look a bit better, but I do like the Series 6 Osdal look. So we've got our engine all buttoned up. Now I have ordered some accessories. So I've ordered power steering pumps coming, alternator with the bracket and the aircon. I don't know if I'm gonna run aircon, but I'm gonna get it anyways, just to have it. So yeah, we'll do all the pulleys and brackets and stuff. And yeah, starting to look good. Obviously everything's taped up, but so I think next thing I'll show you something else I've purchased for the car, which is inside it. So I'll grab that now. All right, so some of you Mazda RX7 owners probably know what this is already, just by looking at the packet, but I've never opened it. I got it a while ago, but I still haven't opened it. Shout out to James Pearson for sending me all this stuff he had. He's got what you need. And these cars aren't cheap to build. You can probably tell what that is already. RX7 owners. For all you non-RX7 people probably asking, what the hell is this? It looks like some sort of cross brace for underneath, subframe. Well, yeah, you're right. What this is Mazda call this the PPF, also known as the power plant frame. So this goes from the gearbox to the diff. I probably got that wrong, which way it goes. I think that's diff and that's gear. No, that's gear. I don't even know. You can sort of see the studs on the back of the gearbox. Can't really see it from here, but they line up with that, and then there's studs on the actual diff. Lines up, and this sort of holds everything together. There's an exhaust hanger there as well. Sort of holds everything together. They're very weird design, but it sort of works. I think MX-5s are the same. Yeah. So this is another step to bolting the gearbox and engine into the car, and then we just run the tail shaft to the back. Also, something we'll be doing off camera is we've been just wire wheeling all this old seam sealer, which is all cracked. Apparently it's really common in these. The seam sealer cracks over time in the factory paint. So I've seam sealed it, and all the overlays look really nice. So I'm gonna get ready to sand this bay. I'm gonna still remove some more things out of it. So I'm gonna try and get as much crap out of it as I can. It's starting to come together now. Well, starting to, actually no, it's gonna be pulled apart more, but what am I talking about? But yeah, anyways, I'm probably gonna end this episode here because nothing else really to do. I'm running out of daylight, can't really tell on camera. This camera is doing really nice. It films really crispy. Next video, I'm gonna try and finish this side, do this side, and maybe the hatch. Get the hatch sorted. I'm gonna get a boot seal and then try and line the hatch up properly because it does sit a bit wonky. It doesn't line up properly at the back here. It sits really close here. On the other side, there's a bit of a gap, and I can't get it to fit better. If I lift it up, here's the inside. Okay, take box. But yeah, I've got to get some boot struts for this. How exciting. It's cool looking into an FD. Thought I'd never own one in my life. So to get back panels for here, but I'm gonna start ordering some stuff off James, see what he's got in stock. It's really hard to find these cubby hole covers and strut top covers. So, but the back end's holding up nicely. Got all the wiring running at the back from the last few episodes. And yeah, so how exciting. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm running out of daylight, so I'm going to end it here. I'm happy with the progress, even though it's been like 8 months difference since both clips, but at the same time, progress is progress. And, you know, obviously building the LS Patrol It's taken a lot of time, and yeah, I'm happy to be back working on my dream car. It's always a good feeling if you're working on something, you know, you've loved your entire life, and when it starts getting closer and closer to finished, yeah, it's sort of get a bit tingly feeling. So hope you'll enjoy and stick around for this build series, and hopefully we have a bit of a monster at the end. Yeah, so stay safe everyone, and we'll see you all in the next video. So take it easy, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.